this industry. And like I say, we operate worldwide because there's a big world market out there. And a lot of artists, even from here in Los Angeles, might find it difficult to be, the king or queen of Southern California, but maybe it's Germany or Japan or Australia or Brazil or Sweden. It could be another territory that actually embraces what you have. You look at these artists, Black Eyed Peas and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and so many of these artists, they spend most of their time traveling outside the U.S. because 2/3 of all the music consumed in the world is outside this country.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, Jay. I can't give a panel discussion with anybody up here with me right now unless I know for a fact I can give them the information. The truth is, market for market, you got to be important. Every market that you go into is a market that you take it and make it yours. First of all, if you can't happen in your backyard, you're not going to happen in London. If you don't happen here in California, you're not going to happen in New York City. If you don't happen in Detroit, you're not happening and you're from Detroit, you're not going to happen nowhere else. You got to remember, know your market share first. I worked records and promotions for 30 years, and I understand Jay can sit there and tell you the same thing I'm telling you. Don't think about London, do not think about Germany, do not think about anything else until you work the United States first. Now, if you look at the transition, if I sell records in Japan or Germany, I will never sell a record in the United States. That's the theory. If I sell a record in the United States, does not necessarily mean I'm going to sell Germany or Japan. You still have to have some foundation. The foundation starts with you first as the artist. You as the artist have to be able to apply yourself overall. You got to know the retailers. You got to know the radio stations. You got to know the clubs. You got to know everything about what those formats support. If you don't know those things, that means that you have no information. That means you're out there blind with a piece of product like this. You got to know where to go with your product. If you want to go to Japan, that means you have to research Japan, because it doesn't necessarily mean you have to speak Japanese, but you got to know about the market itself. One thing that the biggest issue for any independent label or any independent artist is to get to the first stage of getting a CD in your hand first. It's not about having the music, but getting the hard copy CD in your hand, or record, however you want to call it. I go for 45s and LPs and 12-inch vinyl before I go anywhere else. It's the hardest thing to do for any artist without representation or company. We're talking about the norm. We're not talking about us. We've already worked as experience ourselves. We talking about those cats out here who don't know. I want you to be the ones to ask the questions, because when it comes down to it, you have to be the one to walk up here and says, I have a CD and it's got to be worthy of being placed on radio, or it has a CD as being worthy to be placed at the retailer, or have for Jay to work your project, or for me to work your project, or for have the pastor to come and say, I want you to come talk to my kids, or Miss Ferguson to come talk about my kids about how to get this record played or how to make it happen. You have to know your product. Every individual executive is in this room, or people in here. There's a young lady over here known me for years. Her name is Octavia Bosick. Octavia and I remember when she was running around trying to meet somebody to start Ballyhoo. Now, Ballyhoo was a small little company at first, but now she's been working in the business over years and years supporting artists. And she'll tell you the same thing I told her a long time ago. If you don't get in the mix, you're not relevant. You're not relevant at all. If you don't get yourself out there to say, shake hands and get these business cards and start to meet and ask the questions that nobody else would want to ask. Don't be afraid. Don't bite nobody's finger off, but let them know that you got a question. Because no question answered is a dumb answer, a dumb question. You know what I'm saying? So ask those questions. I see that everybody, the point of all conferences is to get information from. Not to talk about what you've done, screw what I've done. Take it to the next level. Do what we've done and do better than what we've done. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. I'm not going to get into a Q&A with people about, okay, the perspective and the demographics and all that. All that means something. But the whole point is you got to make sure that you understand and comprehend every individual move. There's a lot of shysters. There's a lot of cats that sit and take your money. There's a lot of cats out here that will maneuver you and manipulate you for everything that you got just because you believe in yourself, your music, and your faith. And everything is being challenged. So that means I covered Pastor, I covered myself, and I covered everybody else that's up here all in one statement. If you want to be challenged like that, okay, prepare yourself for the fight. That's what this is all about. Independency is one of the hardest things going because you got to play big fish, take little fish. Big fish means I got more money than the next person. Little fish means that I got to scrounge every dollar to get what I get to get my next step. So I'm telling everybody out here, yeah, independence is hard, it's dope, it's hard. If you in it and you love it, it's going to make it happen for you, but at the same time, it's nothing easy. It's one of them things that you got to work hard to go get. If you're scared of work, don't do it. The music business is not made for everybody. And at the same time, those who are in here would tell you like right now, if you're in it, stay in it. Don't try to walk away. If you're not in it and you're just trying to get in it and you just think you're just going to blow up overnight, it's not going to happen. There's a lot of flukes. There's a lot of things that happen because they had the right package or they had the right system going on or the right song or the right track. My man Polar Bear is a producer. He's known for name producers because he has hot hits, but he's only as irrelevant as the last hit that he made. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. If he's not relevant, that means that he's not breaking no records. You know what I'm saying? If the promotion person didn't believe in his project, his record ain't going nowhere. So he has to deal with the belief of the promotion person breaking his record to the next level. If you don't have a publicist that know how to put you in every magazine across the board or even the small trade magazines as well as the fanzines and the whole 9 yards, that means that you're fighting against the wind. That means that you got to find somebody else that's going to put you there. See, it all goes in a system. If you don't have a system, it's not going to work for you. There's a gentleman right here named Jonathan Donker. If y'all don't know him, you need to know who he is. That's 25 radio stations right there to get your record played without even thinking about it. Gospel, hip-hop, and R&B. Used to work at WBLS radio. You need to know who he is. You know what I'm saying? He lives on the West Coast now. You know what I'm saying? Get with him. Oh, you want me to wrap it up? Is that what you're saying? You talking too much? Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, again, I think sales are sales. It doesn't matter whether it's physical, digital, on your telephone, or in a movie soundtrack or whatever. It's finding the path of least resistance where people are really, accepting what you have, and then it's building a team to connect the dots. Now, not every artist out there is the life of the party, can go out there and meet and greet everybody, or maybe not everyone is a social media expert. It's important to create a team that's balanced to handle all that. Sure, independently, you're going to wear more hats than just one area, but I think, again, it's important. I mean, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, they're from Pittsburgh. It didn't really matter if they were, again, a hit there, or it didn't matter where they were from. It matters if you like their music, accept their personality, and dig what they're doing. You want to go to a show, put a T-shirt on, buy their CD. That's the most important and challenging thing these days, is get people to buy your music. They have to care about you enough and impact them. You want to engage the audience to buy that CD.
Are you saying that Wiz, just because Wiz is from Pittsburgh, that he didn't have any notoriety in Pittsburgh first before he became a national hit?
I'm saying he might have, but I'm saying for us it didn't matter. It didn't matter. If we like his music, it didn't matter. Like Yellow Wolf, he's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It doesn't matter where they're from. If you like their music.
I just wanted you to explain that because the transition is they still had a base, a foundation.
Well, someone like Mac Miller, he built his base online. It wasn't so much about Pennsylvania. So again, it's finding and building your team that can build build your brand, build your network, build your audience, and build your career opportunities.
Okay. So do we have anybody want to ask these guys any questions? All right, come on. Well, get over here to the mic. Yeah. Quit being lazy.
Oh, that's bad. You could have went over there.
Check. Question for everybody up there. Like he said, I mean, I'm not taking it as a bad thing. I'm a small fish. I'm one person. I'm an artist with the drive, with the talent. But sometimes you can have all the drive, all the talent, but you just have to have the right people behind you. What does it take for me to get those right people behind me when I'm hungry? I'm ready for it. I just need that machine, you know? I need that machine to push. But I've been through a lot of people who, like you said, you got to watch out for, take this from you, take that from you. I've been through that. And it's like, yeah, I've been through a lot of bad roads, but I'm still not stopping because I know this is my destination, this is my goal, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I'm here. So I basically want to know what I need to do to take my career to the next level because I'm ready. I'm hungry. I have it all. I know I do. I'm not being big-headed. I'm just confident. I know I have it. So I want to know what I need to do to get my views up on YouTube, what I need to do to get somebody like you behind me to push me to that next level, what I need to do to get a producer like Polar Bear to get behind me and, you know, and want to produce me. What do I need to do to get this and get it going because I have what it takes?
I'm gonna let Pastor start.
Yeah. Let me start, and they'll take it and run with it. And I'm going to answer this question not just based off of you, but all the millions of folks out there that's hungry like you. I would say, especially as a pastor, the first thing a person really needs to pursue anything ultimately is a passion for that they're pursuing. And the reason why I would state this is this. If a person's drive, the only thing that was driving them, see, the industry sees it as a business. They're looking and they'll take a person like you and they see, man, we could really, really make a lot of money based off of this person's gift and talents. But you, the artist, the individual, you're going to need something that drives you, that'll wake you up in the morning, that when money is not being made, that you still are on top of your game. So I would say to every artist, the passion for the gift, loving writing the song. If you're a songwriter, this is what wakes you up in the morning. You're driven by the fact that you love your songs and your music to make a difference in somebody's life. If you're a singer, you singing to your children, you singing to the folks in school, you singing to whoever because you love the fact that when I sing, it touched the next person. When the passion becomes real to you, the drive is this: you won't stop, because when you knock at a lot of doors, before you're told yes, you will be told no 1,000,000 times. And if you do not have the passion, you'll receive that, and you'll already be knocked out of the game. Why? Because somebody told you the opposite of what you wanted to hear. I look at, they talk about Anita Baker. When Quincy Jones heard her, he didn't think she had what it takes to make it in the jazz music that she made it in. But because she had a drive, she believed in herself. And I would tell a person as a pastor, I'm one that I just have to bring it to where what's real to me. You have to call on God. you have to call on the Creator who made you and mold and shape you and say, Lord, I need your, before you ask for human beings' help, God, I need your help. Guide me to the right person, the right people. Why? Because as the different ones said, in the industry, a lot of folks are in the industry and they look to take people like you. They're really not, some are in the industry for good reasons, some aren't. They're crooks in everything, good people and crooks in everything. So the thing is, like I said, once again, the passion for it, talk to God.
So in
and
a
let him guide you.
nutshell, perseverance. Perseverance.
You know, that's the reason why I wanted him to answer, because that is the beginning. You know, our faith is being challenged every day by different things and different situations. But the only thing that keeps me getting up every morning is him. The only one that makes me move and talk to people like you is him. You know what I'm saying? And not to touch it, but without him, it wouldn't be no me.
Exactly. Wouldn't be
You know what
us
I'm saying?
three.
So at the same time, I also know there's, like I said, there's shysters. That's nothing but the devil trying to play with you. You know what I'm saying? So to motivate yourself to be with people like us, you already took the first step. You here. The next step is to talk to them people directly. And just like he said, let God guide you. You know, because we can't beat him. We can't break no record he can't break. He broke them all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave it like that. We all here for you. Just let us know how you want to get to us.
Okay.
All
One more
right.
thing. Not to say that I have everything, because if I had everything, I wouldn't even be asking you guys
It's not the
questions.
point.
I have the faith. I know before I go any step forward, he has to push me. He has to do it. He has to be behind me before you or any audience or any fan or anything like that. I know that. I have the faith for that. I have faith in God. I know I wouldn't be able to get in there and write the songs that I do write and make if it wasn't for him. My mom tells me that every day. She won't let that go, and I listen. So what I'm trying to say is, when you have the faith, you have the drive. I know about the million no's. I've heard the no's. I had the people come to me and say, hey, I want to work with you, but they try to do you in the end. I had that, but I keep going because I know I have faith. I have passion. I have the faith and I have passion. If I didn't, I would have fell off a long time ago. I've been doing this music for about 13 years, not saying I've had a big success. I haven't really had a big success, but I'm not giving up. I had this drive, and I'm going to keep going because he shows me this is what I'm supposed to be doing. He gives me the faith to do it all the time. That's why I don't stop. That's why I keep going. That's why I'm standing right here right now.
Right.
So what I would say, when you have the faith and you have the passion like I have, and you're willing to get up at any time of the day, willing to accept a call and drop anything without any money in your pocket like I did, came from Vegas, just on a full tank of gas, empty pockets, and I'm here, what do? You know? I mean, I work. I have 3 kids. I work. I feed them. I go to the studio when I can go to the studio, but I don't want to go to the studio when I can. I need to be in the studio more to be a productive artist. It can't just be, oh, I can go to the studio this month and next month. That won't cut it, and I know that. I have to be consistent. I have to have consistent work put out there. My face has to be in the public eye. My words and my songs have to be out there in order for these people to know who I am. And I know without that, I can't get that without having a machine behind me.
Well, you just
and without
answered
having
your
God
question,
behind me.
though.
So,
You just answered your own question. Consistency.
right.
Consistency. Knowing that, like I said to you before, if you know your network and know where you got to be, that's where you need to be. If you know that you need to be in the meeting with producers, go to those producers.
Right.
You want to meet with Daryl, you got to go sit with Daryl. You also know that in that meeting, you got to be able to offer something to him to bring his attention to you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we can talk to people all day long, but if they don't know how to present themselves, that's not my fault.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's easier for me to understand, instead of me like I said, quote unquote, there's a stereotype automatically because you're in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? You know, faith is one thing, but at the same time, when you walk in faith, you're not supposed to walk in ignorance. You're supposed to walk with education and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? If you walk anywhere you go to talk to anybody in here, you have to have a certain kind of compassion. And at the same time, the people behind the desk that you're talking to have to have compassion towards you as well. Because the time is being taken, they say time is money and money is time. It's the same thing all the way around. If we're going to automatically look at you and talk to you, come with something that's worthy for your talent and your time. Because you want the same thing from us.
Right.
We're no different from you. All we are is the vessel to support what you're trying to do. We're the people that have walked by experience to show you our path. You know what I'm saying? As well as to open our network to you to support what you're trying to do. We have to believe in you for you to believe in us. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I hate about the music industry is that I have to justify my actions 24/7 with everybody. And I don't feel like I need to. Because I'm 46 years old and I live my life to a certain degree. And I made it just on my own. But it took people like the people I just mentioned not too long ago, that in my time and path, we all became friends and family. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you need to be. Now I'm gonna have Darryl, you answer the question. Now he's asked you about bringing up your YouTube hits. Talk to him, get him.
I have a little something for you. You need to get your music in the right hands. You need to pitch your music. If you don't have it handed off to A&R, scouts, there's people out there make appointments to get your music heard by people that are looking for the new sound. Your exposure would be go to places that they're scouting places. Take your tapes and try to get someone, if you're on an independent record label, and try to get them to hand it off to the next band. Often we can get your songs pitched if you know a person of a person. Like my husband's brother plays with Wynonna Judd. We can, if you did, for instance, country, we could pitch her a song, that type of stuff. Or A&R or a scout. Go make your expose your music as much as you can to as many ears you can till you find someone. Surround yourself with support team and then build off of that they can hand your music out that would possibly get somebody interested and get your cycle going. But that sounds like your next step that you need to get and go into the record companies, get your appointment, and see if somebody will listen to your tunes is what you need to do.
Well, I think what's really important is you have to be a student of the game. And that's what you're doing by being here today, is you're showing you're serious about learning the tools and what's necessary out there. Back decades ago, there used to be record companies that would do all the artist development. They would do all this. They'd advise you. You know about Motown. They'd teach you to sing and dance and all that. Pretty much those days are gone. You know, the majors have shifted. They're big, big companies. They're not going to develop an artist anymore. And that 360 deal and all that isn't right for everybody. And the number of deals are dramatically down. So there's a lot of tools out there like conferences, but so much information on that net and, tutorials on YouTube and stuff like that. So you need to be a student of the game. I think you really need to know what you're going out to look for. A lot of people want to get a manager because they think the manager is going to be the investor or do all the work for them. Or need a record label because the record label is going to be the investor or do all the work. So the more you learn about the business today, especially the independent world, you're going to know more about what you're looking for, what you don't. You're going to be able to research people. So that mission is more defined. I think that's really important. You know who and what you're looking for and what you're not. So you're just not falling prey to anyone that calls themselves a record label or here's a recording contract or I'm a manager or things like that. So again, learn the business. And you guys are way ahead of everybody that's not here. So I think that's really what it's about, is continue to grow and learn, and you're going to attract those type of people that can come into your life, but you're going to know what type of terms and what you're looking for at that point, and that connecting those dots is going to propel you forward.
I would like to say that, and this goes for every artist in here, you can really aim high and try to hope one day you'll be on 106 in Park or MTV or MTV2 or any of these other, VH1 platforms. The most important platform all of you should really focus on is the one that's available right now that's free, and that's YouTube. There's There's other platforms like Vimeo. There's a new one called QB. All three of these platforms will allow you to make money on your music, whether you have talent or not. YouTube, Vimeo, QB, they don't really care if your music is hot or if your music is whack, because technically all they want to do is link advertisements to your channel. They're going to make money off of you regardless. So the difference is, which platform, which company do you want to spend your time in that will make money for you? Now, my company, Fullscreen, is just one, I would say, out of 20 networks that have licenses on YouTube to basically partner channels and help you make money. The differences between all of us is that each of us offers something different, but also meets what we're looking for. If the #1 network on YouTube, which every artist is familiar with, is Vivo. But Vivo doesn't represent small branded independent artists. They go after the Chris Browns and the Rihannas and the Lady Gagas and Black Eyed Peas. Then you have Warner Music Group. They're #2. They only represent artists that are on that label. They don't care about up-and-coming artists, or if they get you in a 360 deal, they're going to put you on a collaborative tip on YouTube or any other visual platform. The third network is a company called Machinima. Machinima is mostly involved with video games, EA Sports, ESPN, Sci-Fi Network, USA. They go after the cable, movie, entertainment, video game network. And then there's our company, Fullscreen. We're an open door, organic growth. We represent over 1 billion views a month, and we're global. So just like Jay had mentioned, just like Chris had mentioned, if you want to go global and you've never been outside your backyard, it's not impossible. It is improbable, but it is possible for you to actually have a song play on a German YouTube channel or a Romanian YouTube channel without little effort. The YouTube viewers are looking for something that's gritty, but they're also looking for something that's personable. They want to connect with you as an artist, and they want to connect with you as a person. So the problem is, a lot of people oversaturate their channels. It's okay if you're uploading a video 5 times a week, but if you're not really programming your channel to where it connects with the audience, they're just going to look at your channel for a few minutes and maybe never come back. We live in an ADHD world, so technically you need to trap your audience at least 2 minutes. If you can get an audience for 2 minutes, they'll ride with you and take a look at your other content. Now, in order to sit down with me and have a meeting with me, out of everyone on the panel, I'm probably the easiest one to sit to, because I am like an A&R. My job is to look at music, my job is to look at videos, my job is to look at the quality, and I read the comments. I look at your Facebook. I want to know how many likes you have. I look at your Twitter. I need to know how many followers you have. If you're dominant on Facebook and Twitter, but you're not dominant on YouTube, and I don't mean to curse, Pastor, but you're doing everything ass backwards, because Twitter and Facebook is not going to pay you. If you are a great writer on Twitter and you get laughs and a lot of comments and people that follow you on Facebook, you should do the exact same thing with visual content on YouTube, because then you'll make some money. Now, there is maybe 10% of the artists on YouTube that are big or millionaires. They never need to do a contract deal. They'll never need to do anything outside of signing marketing deals with brands that want to work with them directly, like Daystorm, Timothy De La Ghetto, What the Buck. Some of these channels are huge on YouTube, and ordinary artists may have never heard of them. What we would like to do with artists is bring them into our network and set up collaborative deals where you're going to be working with someone that has millions of views, millions of subscribers, or people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers to help you get you on the map. So the first thing everyone should do if you're really trying to make it big on YouTube is try to reach out to another YouTube artist that you respect, someone that you follow. I mean, I wouldn't go after a Machine Gun Kelly or Kendrick Lamar. I would go after someone smaller like Epic TV, or someone that's been on YouTube for at least 2 years. They have a good following, and reach out to them. Send them a message on YouTube and say, hey, I'm an independent artist. I love what you're doing. I'm following you. I would love to do a collaborative effort with you. And a lot of artists like to do that because they want to also be a part of the next movement. Another thing you should do for your YouTube channel, develop your personality. If you go to church and you are very studious and you watch political news, but your channel is, you're a gangster rapper, you're going to have to find a way to make that blend, because people see through the BS on YouTube. They really do. If you're really a humble cat, but you happen to just spit hot bars, then be that person. You don't have to make up a persona unless you're trying to create a persona for the sense of entertainment. But if you are your artist and you represent you as a musician, then be you on your YouTube channel. You know, try to find a vanity URL. If your name is taken, then do something different where you put something like John Doe Official or the official John Doe channel. Branding yourself is going to take as little as 20 minutes to create your own channel. So do some collaborations. Make sure that you're sending people to your YouTube channel by way of your Twitter, your Facebook. Make sure you're taking advantage of your annotations, which are messages you put on your videos. You need to tell people where to go. You need to tell people to subscribe. You need to tell people to like. Because again, we live in an ADD world and people will come on your channel and bounce and you'll get credit for that view, but you'll never get them back as a subscriber. And that's the most important thing you want to do. The one thing I'll leave you guys with is what's more important on your channel, views or subscribers? And that's actually a loaded question. The more subscribers you have, the more brands like Nike, Coca-Cola, Sony, Reebok will want to mess with you because they're looking at subscribers like a Nielsen viewing audience. The more subscribers you have, the more they figure they're going to come to your channel day in and day out, regardless of what you put up. But if you have views, that's where the money comes in. The more views you have, the more money you get in your PayPal account. Now, when you can combine the subscribers and the view totals together, then you become unstoppable. And there's plenty of ways to get there, but in order for me to figure out the best path for every artist, I need to hear you, I need to see you visually, and then I can give you advice on what other people can do, and we can even give you a playbook that YouTube doesn't even give out anymore. It's 89 pages of how to make your channel maximize its content, from pre-production to post-production to tips to just little things about SEO and SQL that many artists don't even know about. How to get your video on a search engine on Google and do it for free. So definitely come talk to me.
Thank you.
Okay.
My question was for you. I was curious. Do you
Which
know-
one?
I'm sorry, I didn't. Jay.
Yes.
All right. I was trying to understand. Do you know what Machine Gun Kelly's? Do you know what his means of marketing online were? Like as far as how he generated the fan base that he did online. Do you understand like how he did? I'm curious to how he did it.
Well, I mean, a big part of his success is he was constantly active and he engaged the audience. He took that as part of his role. Besides making music and doing concerts, he was very, very active, online. He always had ideas. He engaged the audience, asked questions. He built a rapport, with his audience. So when he went and did his shows, whether it was at a mall or a little club or a school, the audience felt like they knew him. They'd interacted with him. They got to know his personality a lot more. So it's really important not to just spew information out there, but try and engage, your audience. Get them to speak with you and interact with you. And they really feel like they're part of your team. At that point, it's a movement. It's not just somebody banging out beats in their bedroom, but it's actually, a solidified audience moving forward. Everybody wants to be part of a group. They want to be part of a winning team, so it's really important that you guys stay prolific, keep coming up with ideas, not just for songs, but again, for videos and for ideas and posting and questions and things like that. So he was extremely active, and still is, and that's how he got the Bad Boy Interscope Universal machine, behind him. But he could have done that independently, He could very well been a Tech-9 and done this completely outside of there, because he may not be the radio artist. So again, understand there's a lot of artists out there like Tech-9 who, makes tens of millions of dollars, is not on the radio, is not in the mainstream press, So there's a lot of options. There's more options, but again, the main thing is there's no rules. It's really there for the taking. There's people reinventing themselves every day as new angles, how they found their audience, where they found their audience, and how they're connecting the dots and expanding their business.
All right, we're going to take 2 more questions.
Hello. This question is not for anybody in particular, just whoever feels they have the best answer for me. It's like a two-part question. What's the number one advice that you would give to a new up-and-coming artist? And what is the number one thing that is an instant turn-off from up-and-coming artists that you guys would notice, especially the producers and things like that? What is that thing that just totally make you not even want to work with that person instantly without even listening to their content, without even seeing anything that they have? And for the first part of the question was, what's the most important information or advice you would give to an up-and-coming artist?
Because my answer is gonna be real quick. Like, what are turnoffs about working with artists?
The first thing, if I came up to you right now and I'm like, hey, I know that you got these type of connections, what would be the main thing that you find as a trend or anything that you see that is an instant turnoff with up-and-coming artists?
Punctuality and consistency with their communication. And, if you're not on time for meetings, if you call off on meetings, if you don't know how to communicate, your message or what you're trying to do, if you are a shy, humble personality, and I have to work with you and you're a grown adult and I have to kind of break you out of your shell because you need to represent yourself fully on a visual platform, it's hard for me to turn away people because I have a big heart. So my thing is, I really want to work with you, even if you deep down don't feel like you're worth working with. If I spot talent, I'm going to do everything I can to crack that shell open. But it is very frustrating to work with someone that is very personable in front of a camera, but off the camera is just hard to communicate with. Or you're too busy to sit down for 10 minutes and get some jewels of advice. To me, that's hard to do.
Professionalism. Most of the time, you wouldn't want nobody to come to you sloppy. You want them to come to you the same way you want to go to them. So you expect the same thing back. Presentation. Sometimes people take their presentations to be lacking of just saying this is the right, proper way of doing things. But at the same time, sometimes it looks a certain way. We like to see CDs with covers and stuff like that. At the same time, we don't like to see CDs that's written in a crayon. I've seen some CDs with crayon written on it, and I'm like, do you really want me to look at this and listen to this? And don't be surprised, though. I've heard some hits on that crayon written CD as well. But it just took that, because I had that little extra inch, I wanted to hear it just in case. Because it's always that one time, there's always a fluke somewhere. A lot of people threw a lot of records away and didn't even know that they were hits until after they were already hit. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest turn on is when a person is, their whole presentation is on point, tight. They walk in, they know what they want, they know how they want to get it, they know what colors they like, they know what their music titles and everything. They just have everything prepared. That's one of the turn-ons, because when they say I don't have to think about it, let's move with it. It's a no-brainer. I like those type of situations because everything's apparent. They come very far and few, but at the same time, we all have time that we have to be able to give to somebody, and we don't want to waste it. Pastor?
They pretty much said it right. If an individual is not serious about that they do, it will instantly be seen by those that are professionals. And some artists they're not serious, because if you're serious, you will do the homework that's required. You're not going to come unprepared. You will prepare yourself, because you would understand that that's what folks are looking for. Someone that's serious will pay attention to the industry and find out what it is they're looking for and what they're not looking for, and they will present themselves accordingly.
Polar Bear, give me a good one.
A good one. Uh, Not listening, not being open-minded. Like, it's good to be confident, but don't have an ego, because there's a lot of cats that know a lot of stuff. You should always be open-minded. And if you come to me as a producer, that's why you came to me, you know. There's a lot of beat makers out there, but if you come to a producer, then, you know, the producer will produce hooks, raps, all that stuff. So that's the difference. And turn on, I mean, it's kind of the same, but like confidence and charisma, but just don't have an ego.
Yeah, I think what's important is that, again, besides being a student of the game, I mentioned that people are confident, they're talented, they're hungry and humble. I work with some of the biggest artists in the world, and it's shocking how humble and hungry they still are, and how some people that have no knowledge and no success are arrogant and cocky and hard to work with.
Right.
So the biggest turnoff is a bad attitude. You know, if they're not receptive to the information, they're not a good team player, it's all about them, these are huge red flags. It's going to get worse and worse. But somebody that's ready to learn, they know they have their talent, but they know they have a lot more to learn. They're hungry, they're humble, they're willing to work, and they're open to different experiences and environments. That's somebody who's moldable, somebody you can work with. They know the business, so they know they can't be taken advantage of. They know what they have, what they're looking for. They have a general idea of what's acceptable in the industry. And that is the greatest trait to have.
I agree completely across the scale. Two things always being on point: discipline. They're going to watch your actions. They're going to see if you're going to be prompt, you're going to be on point, and your perseverance. Time is going to show your diligence, due diligence, your faithfulness, and over time when the doors aren't opening, your rejection, and so forth and so on. And if you fade, you know, you falter, somebody can catch your ear and discourage you. They're going to watch that. And also ego. Ego is the number one killer. You've got to be pliable. They've been in the business. They want to suggest things, recommend. They want to sculpt you some, and they want to see that they can work with you and they can help refine areas in your life you don't necessarily have, that they could see that would fit the current times, and be open to be able to listen to advice and transform.
All right, Mary? She was next.
Hello, how are you? My name is Mary Jane Harris, and I'm an artist. And I would have a couple questions, or one question. How important do you think a mentor is in this business?
Do I think I need to touch that one, or anybody else want to touch it?
Who is your mentor then, if you can't touch it?
It's one of the hardest questions to answer, only because I do have a lot of mentors in this business that actually opened up and informed me, and prepared me for the fight that I was able to take in my endeavors. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to do some of the things I was able to do because of their network.
Right.
You know, I'm going to go back to this. They say you have to pay your dues to be in this business, but we just don't know what kind of dues we're paying. Okay? Some of the dues that we paid itself directly were more emotional than factual. Some of the dues that we paid were other people's attributes before they were my own attributes. It's good to have a good mentor that knows exactly what they're doing and who they're doing it with, and a strong network. But there's a lot of cats, like I said, there's a lot of misleading individuals here that say they got, you know, we're in the land of Hollywood. Everybody got a business card. Everybody says they're a producer, and everybody's a director. Everybody's doing something in this business to where, you know, they justify their actions. But when it comes time to start working with them, they don't show improve. You know, and the network supports itself. Like I said to you before, if you're in this business long enough, everybody knows somebody.
Right.
And we're all connected. You know, it's a family. And to where those mentors that mentored me, now I'm mentoring the cats that's under them, that were under them, that were under me, and
So
we go so on and so on and so on. So you just have to find the right one. There's a lot of positives as well as negatives. You just have to be the one to be able to fight the right one to fit your personality and the way you do business. Because you can align yourself with some wrong ones, like the biggest one that Jay said was a bad attitude.
Right.
There's a couple cats in this business that have bad attitudes where it filters all the way down to the smallest person on the totem pole.
Right.
And just because you're with that person, you're automatically assigned the same task. You know what I'm saying? I mean, give you an example. Bad Boy Records. I worked for Uptown Records prior before that. Uptown Records was the subsidiary of Def Jam, the way I looked at it, because Russell and Andre were always doing business together. But then at the same time, the staffing from Def Jam was always fulfilling the commitments for Uptown. And then when Uptown finally got to a point to where they were able to stand on their own 2 feet, here comes Bad Boy. Then Bad Boy itself, the whole image and everything else, the people from the video department, the mailroom, everybody got a job that worked for Bad Boy because the label was the hottest label. You know what I'm saying? But nobody took the attributes of how the people were doing the work.
Right.
You know, some people have bad habits, some people have good habits. But fortunately, everybody at each individual label had good habits because the people at top was running the business. You know what I'm saying? So you can get in a certain situation, you can always do pro and con. You just have to be the right one to pick and choose.
So it's vital.
Huh?
So, but just for overall, like everything you said, it's so important to have that mentor.
It's important. It is important because you can't do it by yourself in this business.
Okay.
There is no such thing as, I mean, if it wasn't for us
Right.
on this panel, somebody gave us a chance to be where we are right now.
Absolutely.
You know, so it was a mentor that put us here. You know what I'm saying? But by the experience itself, we end up doing the same thing to somebody else as well.
Right.
And it passes and so on and so on. We pass the torch to those who are worthy. Not everybody is worthy.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's all
Okay.
about having a teacher. You know, I don't care if you're an athlete or a dancer or singer or anything. It's all about having teachers, someone that has more knowledge. Most of the head coaches in sports were former players themselves. So
Right.
I think it's the reason why we're all here giving up our Saturday to be here is we want to mentor others because people mentored us. So it's really everything. Surround yourself with people that know more about the areas that you don't or that do the things that you don't. You may excel at a certain area, but the strength of your team, that's what makes a fist, is strong individuals. Together makes the power.
See, that was a plug. You didn't know that. Got power, Indy power, right? Yeah.
No, I see
Hand
it.
to the fist.
The other question was where does
Marketing 101.
All right, we got 2 more questions and we gotta go.
Thank you guys for the wisdom, first of all, even for coming out and sharing these gems that you're sharing with us. My name is Mark Payne. My one question or a couple questions to you guys is, how much money will it take to distribute your single or your record regionally?
As much as you got.
So you just put everything into
And
it
more.
and then, okay. So, yeah, that was pretty much my basis. Is it like, does payola still exist, or is it like certain networks or areas that you have to contact, or is that just outlawed and it's just all like
You recording this,
Machine
aren't you,
Gun
D?
Kelly style? I'm just curious. I'm just asking just a real question. Just, you know.
No, I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you. Oh. I hold the Fifth Amendment, brother. Payola is, oh, wow. How do I say this without stepping on some toes?
Yes.
All right. But see, I like stepping on toes, so I don't care. In anything that you do in this business, there's a check and balance. It's either my check or your balance. Okay? your balance is 000, I got the check. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm either paying a check to stay in check. And that's the only way I can give that to you to make that easier. I hope you understood that.
I got a little bit.
Okay, because if you go back to the 60s, payola was a big thing. At the same time, payola was also the main scope of how we negotiate with radio, with distributors, the retailers back in the day. Now it's a different game because of the internet. The internet has opened it up so wide that they can't really justify the action and numbers no more because we have so many different avenues to promote and market our product now.
So, for example, just real quick, like Worldstar Hip Hop or 2dopeboys.com or just some blogs like that that are real powerful and influential. If they don't receive your email, what's the best way to try to?
Well, you know what? Before they even came, I'm an old school person, so I'm gonna automatically go back to the beginning of time, how to work a record. Before the internet even came into play, it's still relevant till this day. You know, network is what supports you. Network is going to make you. Network is also going to break you. If you have a good network, it's going to make you happy. If you have a bad network, it's going to end up breaking you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do to maintain, however it may be. You know, if you go to a radio station, you can't just think digital internet radio is going to automatically justify those Power 106s or 92.3s or whatever it may be. That doesn't justify the action plan at that station. You have to go and build a relationship with those people. That's the reason why they have the major consultants as making all the money, if you really want to go that way, because just like the record companies, all the record companies now are media companies. They're not record companies anymore. We were just talking about it not too long ago. There's no 360 deals anymore like there used to be. There's no major budgets like there used to be. Half of the record departments have been downsized, cut apart, chopped up to where now one person is working 12 record labels up under the same umbrella. Ask him, he'll tell you right now. He'll tell you right now that he's working 15 records under one umbrella. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't get any easier, it gets harder. It's just like the compact disc to the CD player, to the CD disc, to compare the vinyl to, you know, the CD player as well. You know what I'm saying? We're playing with technology, and now we got iPhones and everything else like that, to where it's taken away from all the mechanicals of the physical now, because now it's all a digital era. But if you look at it, everything in Europe is being sold tangible, you know, physical, you know, merchandise now. You know what I'm saying? We're still doing the same thing, but it's a different form of value now. Canada, a 12-inch vinyl is now $100 compared to when it was only $6.99. Go ahead. Finish.
Did you get your question answered?
Did you get that?
Also,
Okay.
be cautious of who you want to have your music submitted to online. You know, Reverb Nation, CD Baby, Worldstar Hip Hop. Worldstar Hip Hop, and I'm not going to speak ill of them because they are a huge YouTube partner. They're not really partnered with us per se, but we've had some highs and we've had some lows depending on who represents that brand. And just like any brand online, when you submit your content, please make sure that you are not submitting your rights for that content. Do not give away anything for free. I'm going to say that again. Do not give away anything for free, especially online. Because if someone comes to you and they say, we're going to take your video, we're going to promote the hell out of it. It's going to be in Mars, it's going to be in Uranus, top 10 countdown, world is too small. Don't, just walk away. Because I'm going to tell you like this, there's a lot of issues with a lot of music brands on the YouTube space where they're not only taking your material, but they're claiming it as theirs, which makes it a fight for you to get it back from YouTube. Because if any of you are on YouTube, you know you can't talk to them directly. You can't just call them up. There's no tech support. There's no customer support. You got to send in an appeal, or you got to go to one of those chat rooms and basically hope that someone in California and not India is going to be able to take, you know, your call and respond. I'm just being real. Now, from a network perspective, when artists are signed with us, Like I said before, we don't own any of your content. If someone hacks your channel, if someone tries to claim your content from 2 to 5 years ago to yesterday, we can call YouTube directly and say, this is ours and here's the paperwork to prove it. So not only do we help you, financially, we help you on the back end as well, because the number one issue that artists have on YouTube is copyright and claims. So make sure no matter who you go with, no matter who you're trying to submit your music to, that if they're gonna promote you, that's cool. If it costs you nothing, that's even better. But if they wanna take a percentage of what you did, if they wanna try to claim it as their own, and you give them love one time and they're gonna hook you up the next time, just walk away. Or call someone like me so I can give you advice on where to go. Because again, if you go online, everything that these gentlemen and ladies said on the panel is absolutely correct, okay? It's absolutely correct. Whatever you have to sell, if you can't sell your CD on the street or at the club, you can sell it on YouTube. There's a store tab. People don't even know that. There's a store tab that you can sell your stuff. Now, YouTube is going to take a percentage of that. But if you're with the network, it's only YouTube that takes a percentage of that. Everything else goes right back in your pocket, whether you're with me or whether you're with YouTube directly. If you're with any other network, they're going to try to claim a certain percentage. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not like YouTube or us is paying you thousands of dollars. They're paying pennies and quarters and $1 or $2. So make sure whatever you sign, you walk away with something that's higher than 65%. Because YouTube right now, through their AdSense program, is only giving you 50, 55, 60%. If you can't get a deal higher than that, don't even bother. But do your research.
Thank you, guys.
No doubt.
We have one more question, and we're going to wrap up this panel.
Good afternoon. My name is Demerit. I want to thank the panel, first of all, sharing of your experiences. This is for the panel in large. Due to the recent shift with the internet success and internet buzz, with all the people blowing up on the internet, what's the importance of still putting in the groundwork with music as far as being out on the streets, passing out your music and things like that?
I mean, it's very, very important to have a comprehensive attack. It's just like those that are running for president or Congress or anything right now. I mean, you can't just be on the internet. You can't just be in the streets. You just can't be in the debates of the press. You got to be everywhere. And it's really important, like we're using examples of artists that aren't on the radio and still successful. There's artists on the radio and not successful. So again, there's no rules. There's no shortcuts. I know a lot of people get hung up on, again, the payola thing. There's a cost to doing business. Anyone in the world can get on WorldStar. You just pay the bill, you're on there. But anytime you have thousands of people trying to fit through a couple slots or one slot, there's going to be people that are going to try and influence how to get in there and what favors they can do and all that. So the main thing is there are no shortcuts. You got to work a plan to work, build your team, and every day have everybody, what we've got a saying, we have extraordinary people doing extraordinary things, loving what they do. We get up, I don't care if it's a Sunday, a Monday, a Tuesday night, or whatever. If you love what you do, it's not work. This is your life. So again, work your plan and really put that together. But the groundwork is everything. A lot of people say, well, you don't need stores anymore. You need everything. There's people that just sell physically and don't sell digitally. So again, don't assume anything. Don't take any shortcuts. Build a comprehensive plan. And that will get you a lot further and more, you're covering more of the bases.
Every person you expose yourself to the street is a potential hit online.
He said it all, bro.
Pastor Martin, Pastor, right?
Yes.
Just directly for you, I would like your wisdom. I came up as a gospel artist. I'm an elder also. But recently, throughout the past year and a half, I've been getting booked for a lot of, we could call it secular clubs or whatever it may be. And I wanted to know your wisdom or your advice, what you would give me as far as keeping the title as a gospel rapper or as just acknowledging myself as an artist all in itself.
Well, I would say this. We have plenty of, in our ministry, my wife and I, which is the beautiful young lady on the other end. No, Ray, up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why Big D didn't put us together, I don't know.
It was better that way.
But we have a lot of young folks in our ministry that do gospel rap. And what I would say to you would be this, and hear with your heart. When you minister for Christ, Jesus, it is a whole separate thing from just the things that we're talking about.
Right.
You have to, first of all, in everything you do, you have to please God, not man. Because the Word of God says, if I be a man pleaser, then how can we please the Father? So the key is you personally have to make, because this question is more personal. Right. You have to make sure you have a relationship with your Father that God says to you that it's time for you to go in a place like a club. Because of this, the influence that you can get as a Christian not being in your rightful place would mean everything to your Christian walk and your relationship with God. You have to be more concerned with, like I said, making sure you're crossing your T's with God and dotting your I's. Because as a child of God, God expects personal things from us. And with ministering gospel music, the first thing I always share to the different ones, that God lets us all know that he ain't calling all of us to be stars. Right. And if God puts you in a situation, because this is how our Father works, you could have an event at a club where it's 2,000. You could have a little mom and pop place that has only 3 people there. And God might tell you, not the 2,000, I want you to go and show your faithfulness and minister to those 3 people the same way you would if you were over here before those 3,000 or 2,000, whoever it may be. And you have to, as a child of God, be willing to give him what he's asking for. So, like I would say, what you're talking now is this is not industry talk. Right. This is spiritual guidance. You know, if you're in God for God, then with you would have to, I would tell you, young man, you need to be led. Right. Except God is guiding your steps, then everything you do would be in vain.
That's right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So each one, you guys get like a minute of closing remarks, and then we're going to wrap up this panel real quick. So, Pastor Cat, we'll start with you. If you got any more advice to them, and then go down the line.
Big D, I couldn't understand a thing you just said beside Pastor Cat. What did you just say?
That's about how I feel. No,
coffee. Big D needs some coffee. All right. You know, as you get older, and they say you get wiser, you know, and I was in a lot of y'all's shoes many years ago. Been there, done that, and back again. Haven't lost the passion, number one, for the Lord. And the song will always be within you, if that's what's driving you, and that's what's important. But if the music's part of you, he's going to keep it there. And your audience is going to be there, be it 1 or be a million. And the thing was, give your all, no matter what you do, but make sure your praise goes back to God, because he gave you the gift.
Again, I think it's really important to take this seriously as a business. I'm sure that's why you're all here today. But again, talent is only a part of it. You need to build your team and really have some extraordinary people handling the whole sphere of the business. So you really moving forward as a balanced business. And again, don't be so quick to sign your rights away to someone else. Your copyrights, your masters, your merchandising, your live show, your endorsements, these are the rights that you have. And, you know, value those. Your talent is very serious. So as you learn the business and surround yourself with a great team, you know when to give up those rights to get to the next level or when to keep those and do it yourself. So again, be a student of the game and take this seriously as a business. This is your business. And you can do, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So surround yourself with great people that all have the same, vision that you do, that share your vision and move forward as a team.
Paul LeBert.
Well, I got a couple of just small tips. If you do put out a song on YouTube, make sure you got some kind of visuals because the young kids, like the video and the song go hand in hand now, so you gotta catch them. And if you just have a picture up there, nobody's gonna wanna spread that around. Then also, if you're coming up with a new name for a group or artist, make sure it's something when you Google it that would jump up there. Like for instance, my name is Polar Bear, but I got that name before the internet. And if you Google Polar Bear, I won't come up. 10,000 pages about the animal, So you gotta have some kind of thing that people can find. And just not to sound like an old man, but you could do the music thing, but you gotta have your education and a regular job on the side because the chance you make it is so minimum.
Pastor Music.
Piece of advice. What's hitting me is to share this, and I share this as a pastor. I erased myself for a few seconds from just being part of the panel. The Word of God says this, advice. He said, what is it if you shall gain the whole world and lose your soul? To pursue all the accolades and lose the very thing that you really wanted to share to the people was your heart. Make sure your heart stays in line with your Father, and all will be well. He will guide and lead your steps.
Chris.
It's hard to come back after that one. The only thing that motivates me to be in this business for 33 years was able to see kids come from one age to go to the next and become business associates with me. I say this to challenge every person in this room. Since Pastor told you about the point of your faith in your heart, I challenge you all as an individual. Build your community. Build your community around you. Build the people around you. Destroy those obstacles that are not meant for you, but build. Because in this game, there's a lot of different avenues to take. As long as you know which avenue is yours, follow it. Don't derive no other direction. Stay on that path. Because that's for you. It's not for nobody else. It's for you. He made an order. He says, be obedient to what he tells you to do. So I say that to you. Support your people in your community. Support those programs. Support the kids. Go to the schools. Support the teachers. Go out and vote. Push the Voter Registration Act. Do all that because it's about you. That's it.
How many in the audience are artists, music artists? Show of hands. Okay, keep your hands high. How many of you have YouTube channels? Okay. How many of you can afford free 99? Okay. Okay, all of you who have your hands raised, and even for you that don't have a YouTube channel but want to create one, come find me after the panel. I'll give you some information. Write down our website so you can at least do research on us. And don't just do research on us. Do research on all the networks out there and find one that's good for you, okay? Because not every business is good for every artist. And I don't believe in a monopoly. You shouldn't either. So definitely do your research. But our company is called fullscreen.net, like a full screen. And the website is www.fullscreen.net. It's a really creative website. It gives you two different perspectives on what we offer to you as a creator or a musician or artist, and what we offer you as a brand if you're a business as far as marketing. Take some time, do some research. If you don't have any money, you can still participate in a program. You still can create a YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything. But listen to everyone on the panel. You know, be humble, be hungry, be consistent, have good product to showcase. But most importantly, know the business, get a business license, learn about write-offs, save yourself some money from the government, get some interns, and start building up your portfolio so you can have something to share when you want to sit down with individuals like Chris and Jay, Polar Bear, and anyone else on the panel. I mean, even though the services that I offer you are free, the business is not free. So take advantage of what is available for you, like a grant or a scholarship online. You know, humble yourself, practice your craft, and, you know, get a team around you that only you can trust, that you can grow, that you can build, that you can, you know, promote. Each one, teach one. And that is really not only the key to success in music or business, that's also the key to success in your own personal life.
Let's give the panel a hand. I appreciate you guys' time today. You know, hopefully you guys learned something. You know, so we're going to take about a 3-minute, 4-minute recess, reset the panel, and we got Steve LaBelle just finally showed up too. So he's going to be up on the next panel, and make sure you guys get all their contact information. That's what they're here for. All right? Thank you, guys.